Hello, friends. Ever consider we may be in a state of malnutrition? The lack of wholesome meals are major contributing factors towards disease and behaviors, just like oil and gas to a working vehicle. Not to mention lifestyle are very real considerations. After 20 plus years of listening, surveying, observations, and hosting retreats, I interacted with many patients and their families. I myself was a patient overcame 3 major health challenges. My experience and insights will help to equip you, my audience, to unpack and eliminate guessworks before you visit your doctors. Welcome to my show, Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life by way of 1 degree change. Hello, this is Dr. Axness again. I am very excited now to literally get into the topic about food, whole food, nutrition. And today's topic is about how nutrition can affect socially behavior. And I started with writing this in my book called Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life. And here it is, the copy of the book. And I want everybody to be aware of food is wonderful, and well-prepared home-cooked meal is just as essential as what you put on your body. Now, a lot of parents and even healthcare professional right now in the last few years, many healthcare professionals do not focus on preventive medicine as far as how nutrition can affect a youngster's life, and especially developing teenagers. And they get very busy, and the first thing they forget is eat well, hydration, salt intake, supplement, such as B vitamin. And I'm here to say, even though I'm retired, but one of the most important consideration for growth and healthy bodies is about food, what you put in. They are not only fuel, but they actually help the body to grow appropriately, feeding all your glands as well as your whole wellness system. And I call this the endocrine system. The hypothalamus, the thyroid, the liver, all of these glands requires nutrition. And when it is fed well, a body can be productive, can be socially well adapted. And the most important thing is, as parents, especially parents our age, we're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and even 70s. I myself is 73. And one of the things I am so focused on as I was raising my youngsters, my children, from birth till now, they're in their mid to late 40s. I am surprised. Many parents, during their school age children, they are neglectful of the nutrient intake. I have seen very, very wealthy as well as poor social economic situations. I have to say, nutrition is not something that people think very much about. So this is one time I want to make sure everybody give it special attention how nutrition and a well-fed body can affect behaviors. Okay, I am reading from a very high quality former probation officer. Her name is Dr. Barbara Stitt, Reed Stitt, Stitt. And you can get her book. And I have focused attention on this book for many years now. And she is a PhD studying prison probation about detecting malnutrition and how it affects behavior in the prison, actually before they are arrested. Malnutrition is a state of impaired functional ability or deficient structural integrity or development brought about by a discrepancies between the supply to the body's tissue of essential nutrients and calories and the biological demands for them. This is by the American Medical Association. And another doctor, Dr. Carl Pfeiffer, Pfeiffer, he said a well-nourished American is now becoming a myth. Is it only because nutrition only affects people just because when they are poor and deprived? And now it has clouded some of the thinking of the medical and psychiatric community as well. When a person is literally on the verge of death, then they are entitled that that person is malnutritioned. Well, for malnourished bodies, it can affect many areas of a person's development, especially youngsters. And we're not going to discuss crime, but this is a collection from a very well-known probation officer who has helped prisoners get out of prison, lead a healthy life just by nourishing the bodies. Not only that, when a body is infiltrated by heavy metals, lead, cadmium, it can affect the brain, the thinking, and the behaviors. Now, this may be a very serious topic, but as a retired nutritionist and doctor of naturopathy, I test a person. When they come to me, I want to see if what they're eating is actually helping or affecting their disease state or their behaviors. So eventually, I will talk about relationships within a family. When someone don't eat well, sometimes they don't think well, no less not sleep well. And when someone is exhausted, it can affect their emotional and mental state. In my book, I talk about when there is deficiency in a malnutrition body, oftentimes there is an overload of toxicity. And what am I talking about? Toxic food, additives, coloring, sugar, and high fructose corn syrup. They all contribute to malnutrition, and not only that, a buildup of fats in the body. Let me just dive into a quick topic about the brain. Before that, I want to show a quick clip about how I got restored from a serious brain injury. And this is my story and my testimony. And watch. Hi, Dr. Mary Axness here. At age 72, I finally retired. And guess what? I wrote a book. It's called Optimize Wellness and Maximize Life. And you know what? God healed me from 3 major medical challenges. One of them was a serious brain concussion injury over 10 years ago. And the doctor said there's nothing they can do other than just sit on the porch and rock. That didn't sit well with me at all. So I do what I knew best to do. Eat myself back to health, plus co-labor with God, and did a lot of study and understand how to feed the brain well and recover. Now I can say, order this book. I'm going to have classes over this too. And come along and grow young with me. Retirement is just a new chapter. Now, do you see how important it is to feed yourself well, feed your body well, feed your brain well? We're talking about pre-Alzheimer's, pre-Parkinson's. All of these things can be reversed. Let me get back to the topic of how food and nutrition can affect human behaviors. We're talking about certain toxins and chemical additives that especially prisoners have a record of consuming caffeine, um, soda pops, and when their uh, main diet is caffeine, sugar, that lift that they get from the substance, the ingredient that is in that coffee or soda or cola or chocolate, and many over the counter drugs is due to the fact that caffeine, which I believe really stimulates the production of the adrenal glands. The adrenaline, as we saw, raises the blood sugar level in such a way that they will also get into a cycle of over consuming caffeine. The young probationers that this doctor see drink a whole gallon of cola or more every day, and they are constantly stimulating their adrenal glands. And when they are exhausted, it means the body's hypoglycemic level is such that they are becoming unable to handle their behaviors. And every single day, they have jitteries, nervousness, headaches, and it can even lead to delirium. Now, this is from a medical observation. And not only that, monosodium glutamate, MSG, is another food additive. Um, Even though I'm Chinese, I try my best to uh, not consume any MSG. There's been so much discussion and argument that, oh no, it won't affect you. And but the key is there are many people that have special sensitivity and even allergic reaction to MSG. And I'm not against Chinese food, but you know what? Best food is home prepared, home cooked. Occasionally, um, a little MSG may not make a difference, but many people, I'm talking about at least half of the population, they get headaches when they consume MSG. And not only that, it really dehydrates their body. And so, therefore, um, the biochemical constituent in the retina and the brain, MSG treated animals or food can really affect um, lab rats and affects their neurotransmitter activities. We're talking about brain function, and a little here, a little there can add up. And I have seen youngsters, they get so stimulated that they want more, a higher level of stimulation, a higher level of excitement. And then they go on to their computer and they don't wear protective gear. Unfortunately, that is not always a good thing. And with uh, Dr. Barbara, she had several experiments that had helped to reverse the situation of um, probation uh, officers working with them and doctors. And this is a known study that nutrition actually contribute to social wellness and behaviors, and it can be reversed. And here is an example. A 19-year-old probationer of Dr. Barbara provide a classic case of undetected case of malnutrition and metal poisoning, and it can ruin their life. And the young person had been arrested for shoplifting, even though it may seem like an inconsequential crime, but it affected the person and classified that person has a learning disability as early as second grade. And this person received a battery of tests and then found that there were a high level of lead and arsenic in her body. The body can safely tolerate a certain amount per million, but when put on a diet uh, regime, a healthy diet, something's changed, and the toxic level from the tissue has come onto the show up on a test. The IQ after 1 year, the IQ test score of this young lady was uh, increased 30 points. Now, uh, after the 1 year of healthy diet, the person not only can drive, she continued to get her education, higher education, stayed out of trouble. Best of all, this person finally realized that she's lovely and discover her whole personality is different than on a rotten diet. So all I can say is aluminum, arsenic, lead, and especially people that work in industries that involve um, a lot of toxic materials. And we're going to delve into detoxing on our next episode or subsequent episode. The most important thing is eat a healthy diet, not packaged foods. And I wanted to make sure that everybody, especially young people, teenagers, you need nutrition, you need B12, you need a healthy dose of zinc, and a well hydrated body is a healthy body. And finally, I want uh, to get into a state of meditation, and being grateful is so important. Let's close our eyes and meditate the previous 24 hours. How wonderful that life is, that we can eat, breathe, sleep, rest, sweat, even poop and pee. Now, let's close our eyes and just regard the last 24 hours was such a gift to us. After all, we only have today. And I believe and wish everyone sleep well, rest well, especially around the holiday season. And thank you, God, for keeping us healthy and whole. And I will see you on the next episode. Thank you, God, for healthy bodies, wholeness of mind, and socially well adjusted children. Thank you.